Okay. All right, folks. So we're going to get started with our peer mentor panel. So my name is Shahrzad Mozafar. I'm one of the HB coaches and also the peer mentor coordinator. And I'm going to be facilitating this panel of wonderful peer mentors that we have with us here today. We're having this panel to really just highlight and celebrate upcoming National First Generation celebration, which is actually November 8th. Um, as you may or may not be aware, the First Generation College Celebration, it's a pretty big event. So it's an annual event that really amplifies the successes, strengths, and stories of first generation students, faculty, and staff. And it really advances our institution's conversation of first gen experiences and outcomes. And what better people to hear that from our peer mentors that are here with us today. So I do have a couple of questions for you all. So first of all, I think the first question we're going to start out with so that folks can know a little bit about you and who you are. Please, each of you, if you can share your name, your pronouns, your year at St. Mary's, your major and minor, possible careers that you're interested in or currently exploring.
All right, I can go ahead and start. My name is Anahi Torres. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a third year or junior at St. Mary's. My major is business administration with a double concentration in finance and data analytics. And I am looking into a career in either wealth management or corporate finance.
I can go ahead and continue. Hi everyone, my name is Diego Reese. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm a third year here at St. Mary's. I'm a psychology major, and future careers are still kind of up in the air, but I'm looking for something in counseling.
Hi, my name is Ashley Hernandez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm majoring in psychology with a concentration in clinical and counseling and minoring in sociology. I'm planning to be a therapist or a counselor, something around over there. But yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Alondra Mendoza. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a senior this year at St. Mary's, majoring in business administration with a focus in marketing and a minor in communication. And some careers that I've been looking into are in either social media or digital media marketing. And I've also been looking into merchandising. But my major goal is to hopefully get into either the beauty or the fashion industry because those are just my passions.
Hello everyone, my name is Arturo Fernandez. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am a second year student majoring in kinesiology, and for my career path, I think I want to be a physical therapist or an athletic trainer.
My name is Frida Garcia. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a third year at St. Mary's. I'm an allied health science major. Possible career interests are becoming an occupational therapist, specifically for children.
Hello everyone, I'm Sinclair Lee. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a third year sociology and ethnic studies double major, and my current career interest is social work.
Hi everyone, my name is Daisy Guzman and I am a second year here at St. Mary's. I am majoring in psychology with a concentration in counseling and a minor in music. Possible career paths are definitely counseling, and in terms of music, I am still thinking about it.
Hi everyone. My name is Christopher Gutierrez. I'm a second year student. My pronouns are he, him, his. My major is business administration with a concentration in finance, and in my possible career path, something to do with social media.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for introducing yourselves. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. So I'm going to jump right into the questions. And so the first question I would like to ask all of you is, what does being first generation mean to you and why? And again, we're popcorn style, so whoever wants to go first, feel free to jump in, okay?
I could start. So first generation obviously means being the first to go to college in your family. But it means, I guess, more than that to me. It's setting the path for my younger siblings. It's being the first to achieve something big, but not because my parents didn't want to, but because they couldn't. So really living out their dreams is something that's really valuable to me because they sacrificed a lot for me to get that education when they couldn't. So that's what being first gen means to me.
Thank you, Anahi. Maybe 2 more responses to this question.
Yeah, I can go. So similar to Anahi, I feel like being a first generation student means being a trailblazer, really kind of going forward and pushing through into the unknown, whether it's like uncertainty in yourself, but also uncertainty not having maybe those normal support systems that other students may have. So that's something that definitely has been like on my mind, being first generation, and also kind of being that example. I have 3 younger brothers, so pushing forward and being the first in my family to go to college and have that opportunity, but also setting that example for future generations is something that's been kind of part of my experience as first generation. And also being able to be resourceful and being able to kind of like work around different systems and being able to kind of like find support where you can get it so that you can achieve kind of like the success that you want to make happen in your life.
Thank you, Diego.
I think to piggyback off of what Diego was saying, to me, being first generation means being resilient and taking advantage of the opportunities that we're given. I've always been taught that knowledge is power and knowledge is key. And so really taking this opportunity to like further my education and to give myself and like my family the best that I can.
Great. Anyone else have anything they want to add? Okay. I think one thing I just do want to highlight from what each of you shared is really that sacrifice that you're all making, and being resilient is a huge part of that, right? So overcoming certain barriers, but definitely being resourceful and knowing that you do have a support system here. There's a lot that goes into that. So thank you, folks, for sharing. My second question to you all, and this is open to the group. So with a focus on your first gen identity, what has your experience specifically been like at St. Mary's?
I can kind of touch on that question a little bit. So thinking about like my own experience at St. Mary's being first gen, like first of all, I'm very appreciative for being able to even attend St. Mary's, and I'm always looking into that and taking advantage of being at St. Mary's because it is a true privilege being there. And I know like a lot of people don't have the opportunity to go to a private school, and I'm just grateful for that. But some of my experiences, like more specifically with like my first gen identity, I've gone through a lot of like imposter feelings and imposter syndrome, and feeling like and questioning and doubting if I even belong at St. Mary's and if I even have what it takes. And I think that's one thing that I think I can more specifically relate to being a first gen, and I think others can relate to that as well. But I know specifically with like the high potential program, like being in this program has really helped me really navigate that and kind of validate that I do belong and that I do deserve, to be at St. Mary's. And overall, my experience at St. Mary's has been like amazing. I love it at St. Mary's, but there's definitely hurdles that I've had to go through, specifically like all those doubting feelings that I've had. But definitely the HP program has helped me overcome those, and I'm just overall very grateful.
Thanks for sharing, Alondra.
Yeah, so when I was coming to St. Mary's, I didn't really know what it meant to be first gen. I was just very proud already, but I didn't really know about it. I didn't see the effects of being first gen until I was in the college setting, and it was really, really hard on me, but I'm so grateful for the High Potential program. I really do say that if it wasn't for that program, I don't know if I would be at St. Mary's. So yeah, I'm just very appreciative of St. Mary's in general and the High Potential program. And they have shown me my resiliency in being first gen and what it means to be first gen.
Thanks, Ashley. Maybe one or two more?
Yeah, I think kind of just going off of what Alondra and Ashley have said, I feel like coming into St. Mary's and being first generation, I didn't really know what that meant.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of almost like invisible and didn't really know what to do. And I feel like being in classes, like I wasn't really sure what that meant or like if I was supposed to be proud of being first generation. And through my time at St. Mary's, I've definitely learned, especially through the High Potential program, about like resiliency and really just being like dedicated and just focusing on like the strengths of being first generation rather than on everything that I didn't have growing up, focusing on all the accomplishments and things that I do bring to the table.
Great point, Sinclair. Thank you.
Yeah, so going off of what they've all said, going into college, whatever college I would have gone to, I still feel like I was very confused and I did not know what college life was going to be like for me. No one in my family could really tell me what college life was like since I am first generation. But coming to St. Mary's, I know has been a great decision for me because everyone that I've met, all the professors, staff, people in the HP program have really helped me adapt. And I think it was the best situation I could have been put into. I learned so much about what college life is like just in my first couple weeks here. And if it wasn't for like all that help that I got at St. Mary's, I don't think I would be here either. But thanks to all the help I got, I am.
Awesome. Thank you, Arturo. Anyone else want to share before we go on to the next question?
I would actually like to share. I just wanted to say, like, for me, it's a little bit different. I have 4 older siblings, so they all went to college. I'm a first generation too, but my expectations were a little bit different. I had to like be the same as my siblings, which was already a lot of pressure. But at the same time, this is like me as a first year student, like it was very difficult for me. So I'm very happy and appreciative for HP. I don't know what I would do without them. I don't think I would be here. I'm in my second year as a peer mentor at St. Mary's. So I'm really, really grateful for HP and how they've helped me grow as a person and just made me realize that I'm here for a reason and that I should be here. So yeah.
Thanks, Chris. We're grateful for you too. Okay, any other thoughts before we move on? I want to make sure I give everyone an opportunity if they want to share something. Okay. All right, wonderful. So the next question, folks, what is one thing you would like staff, faculty, and administrators to know about first generation students? It could be one thing, it could be multiple things, but what's something you would like the staff, faculty, and administrators at St. Mary's College to know about first gen students?
Something that this is also thinking back to like my first year here at St. Mary's was the first generation students, while we might not know, and I remember like coming to St. Mary's, the biggest thing was for me was like not knowing things that seemed to other people common knowledge, right? And that was something for me where there was like figuring out the bookstore or figuring out Scantrons and just like other services and whether it was FAFSA and other things on campus. Something that I noticed a lot of first generation students, or in my experience, was that common knowledge to other people might not be common knowledge to me or other first gen students. And I feel like just because we might not know those things doesn't mean that we don't work or are at the same level as other students, that we have the same potential and the same kind of like the same level of, I guess, achievement, that we can achieve whatever any other student can, even though despite these what might seem as like challenges to overcome. And then just because those, I guess, hurdles are there doesn't mean that we can't be as great or as good as any other student. And it's something that I've noticed, that we don't always have to be coddled, even though the support is appreciated. So that's something that I think it's important for staff here at St. Mary's to know, that we're very capable of doing everything.
Absolutely. Thank you, Diego.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of challenges first generation students have to overcome, and there's a lot of things that we have to learn on our own, but I think that drives us to be very proactive, and we're very goal driven. And then, like Frida said earlier, very resilient as well, and resourceful. And I think so that being first gen brings out a lot of strengths in students. So I think, I mean, for me, when I hear someone's first gen, you know, and they're just excelling, it's like, wow, they've overcome all these things, you know, but they're still here and they deserve to be here, and they have so much to offer. So, yeah.
Thanks, Ani.
So going off of what Ani said, I think something to note is that we are very resilient. I know a lot of us have already mentioned this, but we really are resilient in the sense of we have so many obstacles that we have to go through. And I feel like we have additional responsibilities that most people don't really have, or additional pressures. So I think being resilient is something that you can definitely see in students that are first gen, and not losing hope if we seem to be down, because we're definitely going to come back and we're going to be twice as better than we were. So,
Daisy, can I ask you a follow-up question?
Of course.
You mentioned some of the pressures. Could you give maybe like one example of something that first generation, or if you yourself have had to kind of externally deal with, or that's been going on at the same time as being, you know, a college student?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things is the pressure to succeed and to excel and be doing great, and just like have everything under control. There's a lot of times where I have felt pressured to tell my parents, oh yeah, I'm doing great, you know, I'm excelling, we're thriving, but there are times where it's just really challenging. Yeah. And having that pressure of, oh, I really just need to do well for my family, and for my brothers who are looking up to me, can get to you sometimes. So that's something that we additionally have to deal with and try to overcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to hop in on this as well, because I think being first gen, there's a lot of pressure on, you know, from our families, or even for ourselves, going into a career, you know, that'll make us a substantial amount of money to, right, you know, progress our family and increase our generational wealth, you know. And so I think there's a lot of pressure sometimes on maybe not doing necessarily what we love all the time, but doing what we need to do to be successful. So that can be a challenge sometimes.
There's a lot of sacrifices, and you mentioned the word sacrifice earlier, Anahi. I think for many first generation students, it's, you know, responsibilities with families. You know, a lot of first gen HP students, they work 1, 2, 3, sometimes 3 jobs while they're trying to, you know, be this full-time student and excel. And so again, there's a lot of pressure with all of this. So I agree with all the points that you're all stating here. Very true. Anyone else wants to add? Anything else you really want staff and faculty and administrators to know about first gen students?
Yeah, I was going to add, in the context of the whole pandemic, this has been like super prevalent for me because speaking of like sacrifices and that type of thing, you know, I had to sacrifice living on campus versus living at home. And with living at home comes so much more responsibility of like helping around my house, helping with my siblings, helping my mom, that type of thing. Whereas maybe a different person might not have to really think about that or take in the financial burden, I guess, that living on campus would like put on a person. Whereas for me, it's me sacrificing, you know, my education in a sense to, you know, save the money, help my family, and like still be a college student.
Thank you, Frida. I do want to touch on a point that Diego, you mentioned, really just focusing on a lot of the strengths that our first generation students are bringing in, because oftentimes first generation students are looked at from a deficit-based perspective. And something I really want to highlight here, especially with all of you, are just like the strengths that you and all of your peers bring in. You're coming in with so many skills and tools already. And really just like supporting each other and reminding each other of the skill sets that you do have. We really want to continue to focus on the strengths. And so I think to all of the points that you're making are very strength-based, and that first generation students are coming in with this amazing skill set already before they enter St. Mary's. Anything else anyone wants to add? Anything else you want folks to know about first gen students, besides that they're awesome, right? They're the best. Hello. Okay. So last question. There's so many questions we can ask. It was really hard to narrow these down. But the last question for all of you, and maybe you need like a minute to think about this, but provide an example of when a professor or staff member recognized your strengths as a first generation student, and let us know how this made you feel when that strength or those strengths were recognized. So take a moment, think about a time, and then when you're ready to share, go ahead and jump in. And this can be any professor, it can be any staff. Folks out there who are watching this panel right now, just something you need to know about this group of peer mentors. They are extremely reflective, and they like to take in the information and any questions and really sit with it for a while, which I really love about this group. So you can just see their minds working and thinking. It's awesome.
Wait, did Shar cut out, or is it just me?
Okay.
Well, I can go ahead and jump in. I think oh, you're here? Okay. I was like, I don't know what's happening. But yeah, see the world we live in today. But yeah, well, definitely everyone in the high potential program has really just made me think of being first gen in a whole new light. And I think it's really helped me to excel, not only in my academics, but in my personal life. So I appreciate all of you. Shar, I appreciate you, especially like Ashley mentioned earlier, wouldn't be here without the high potential program. So very much grateful always for that. But I had a professor, her name's Caroline Burns, and she is also first generation herself. And I think something that just really made me feel special is that I think a lot of professors, you know, not being first gen is not really something that they mention in class or in lecture, or really don't think about a student's identity. Not speaking to all professors, but just but yeah, I think she really just made me feel less of the imposter feelings that you would normally feel in a class, because she shared her first generation story with me, and just having that personal level really helped me just feel comfortable. And she's just an awesome professor. Just want to brag about her right now in this moment as well. But
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, just sharing her first generation experience. And she also focused on the strengths that first generation students bring. She's gotten so far in her career being first generation. And so I really appreciated that.
Awesome. Thanks, Ani.
Yeah, my experience was with my FIAC advisor for my first year. So when it came time to like scheduling or like figuring out my schedule, I was like, I want to do this in my life. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And I need your help to guide me through it. And he was very, very, very helpful and very, he believed in me. He wasn't like, he told me like, you can do it. I know you're first gen. I know you're resilient. I know you can do it. And that was really, it helped me, and it still pushes me every day to, when I think about it, how much he impacted me. And yeah.
Thanks, Ashley.
So someone that had a huge impact on me was my first year academic advisor, Brother Michael Murphy. And the reason he had a huge impact on me was because, like I mentioned earlier, I had no idea what college was going to be like. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what classes I needed to take, any of that. And I mentioned that always to Brother Murphy, and he would always just like reassure me that I'm resilient, I'm goal driven, and especially that I'm doing this for my parents and for my grandparents who never got the opportunity that I got to go to college. So, he would just consistently tell me that I'm strong and I'm here for a reason, and that made me feel, reassured every single time I would talk.
Thanks, Arturo.
I have two people.
Go ahead. We got Frida and Chris. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Is my connection okay?
We can hear you.
Here, I'll just wait. Chris can go first.
Okay, Frida, you can go.
Okay. My experience with a professor, my very first year, I was taking general chemistry, and I remember failing my first exam and just feeling very overwhelmed, very defeated. And I went to my professor and I was very honest, and I was like, I don't know if I can like pass this class. I was feeling like very upset and frustrated with myself. And I remember him telling me to just, he gave me some really good advice and just kind of boosted my self-esteem. And like, he's like, I think you're capable of passing this class, and I don't think that you should let one grade deter you from like wanting to like drop out of the class. So I really held on to that. And then the next exam I got a B, which was like way better than what I had gotten originally. And I remember when he handed me my exam, he was kind of like, I told you so, like you got this, like you're fine. And I like always think about that because like, and it's something that I tell my mentees all the time is like, if you're resilient and if you have people behind you that believe in you, like you need to believe in yourself as well. So I always just think of that professor and how he was like, you got this, like you're more than capable of like passing this class. Like it's just a matter of like putting in the work and believing in yourself, which is something that I've held on, and I've given the same advice to like my mentees. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, Frida. Chris, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry about that. I have two shout outs to make. One to Shar, especially to Shar. Like, I'm very grateful for her. Like, I'm not just saying this because she's my boss, but like, she is really like without her my first year, I don't know what I would do without her. Like, I don't think I would be going to St. Mary's. Like, I wouldn't be a peer mentor without her. My personality has definitely changed. Like, I'm more myself because of her. Like, I just like, I feel way better than like coming into St. Mary's. And then my FIAC advisor, my first year, Professor Michael Barham, he's the first teacher I've ever actually connected with from middle school to high school. It just felt really good, like, because I've never connected with the teacher as well, or in general, and he made it very well. Like, I was able to have deep conversations with him, and it just felt very good to have a professor on my side and be able to have a professor there to be able to talk to.
Thank you, Chris. Others? Anyone else want to share anything?
Yeah, I have two people, Suda and Legacy from the Intercultural Center. HP, we work really closely with the IC a lot, but I think both Suda and Legacy have always highlighted the strengths of first generation students, and I think they've really helped me gain more like language and knowledge about being first generation, and just like how I can better like have conversations with other people about it. And I feel like they've also always just made it a safe space, and just acknowledged that first generation students are at St. Mary's, and they have a lot of strengths and resiliency. So yeah.
Awesome. Agreed. Any others before we wrap up? Okay. All right, folks. Well, I want to really thank each of you just for being present today and answering these questions. And for the folks listening, hopefully this just gives you a little bit more insight to this wonderful group of HP students, first generation students, peer mentors. They're really a wonderful group of students, and along with the rest of our students too, hopefully just gave you a little bit more insight as to what it's like being first generation. If you're first generation yourself, maybe you found some things that were really relatable through this conversation on the panel. But just thank you for listening. We appreciate everything that you do at St. Mary's, and just having more understanding of the first generation experience. So that's it, folks. Again, thank you everyone for participating and answering my questions. It's very helpful. And yeah, we'll see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.